Well, hey, book lovers, welcome to our live author chat. I am Alyssa Granlund, and I'm the curator, the founder of Reader Crate. And today we are celebrating our February box, which was cheesy. Let's see here. It was Sweet Clues and Cheesy Alibis. And our author is Michele PW. And you know what? I'm going to have to ask Michele how to pronounce her name when we get her on, because I've just been calling her Michele PW, but we'll bring her on in just a second. So right now we're kind of into the throes of getting our March crate all together, which is going to be really fun. It is all about twisty turns and clever clues, and it is called Grounds for Suspicion. So that's our theme. So that gives you a little hint what the theme is going to be. And again, it's cozy. We've got 3 authors that are in the crate, and then a bunch of swag for you. And I just like to pick out things that I love. And so hopefully it will resonate with you as well. And so if you're interested in becoming a member of Reader Crate, you can get involved at readercrate.com. And there are 3 different levels. You can sign up for a 1-book, a 2-book, or a 3-book crate. You can sign up to be month to month, so it just comes to you every month, or you can just sign up for a one-time purchase or even a gift purchase if you wanted to buy 3 months or something. So there's a lot of options for you on there if you're interested. And we'd love to have you be a part of it. One of the things that we do is not only do I send out the crates, but also we do these author interviews, which I think are so fun to hear from our authors that are involved in the crate, because almost everybody is an indie author. So we're kind of slugging it out, doing it ourselves, doing everything. And including me, I'm an indie author as well. And so I totally feel the pain, and also just love to share about the authors. So if you are interested, please go to readercrate.com, sign up. We'd love to have you be a part of it. I'll be shipping out the crates that last week of February so that you receive them, within the first few days of March. All right. So before we dive in, I want to just give you a little thing about our author today, Michele PW. So Michele, let me bring her up. Michele is I've known of Michele for a long time, because our paths crossed probably 12 years ago through a women's networking organization called eWomen Network. And so I had heard about Michele then, and I had followed her a little bit because she used to do a lot of copywriting. Correct, Michele? Right?
Correct.
And so,
yes.
Yep. And so I had been to some maybe some online things. I'm not quite sure, but I had read some blog posts or something, but I was connected that way. And then I saw her first book. And so, of course, I was one of the first people to purchase her book when it came out. Yep. I love that one. The one that took place like with the Russian kind of mafia mob kind of thing, right? That was sort of the theme. I'm not sure. That's kind of what it seemed like. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I had a couple, but they're more psych thrillers. So they were, I didn't get, yes.
Yeah. And they were amazing. And I remember when I saw that and I read her book and I realized that it had been her first release. And I just thought, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe that someone could actually just do that. And it really inspired me to kind of go down my path a little bit too, to kind of dip my toes in the water there too. So it was really great. So welcome, Michele. So tell us how you pronounce your last name.
It's Parizo Wasik.
Wasik. I thought that was probably it. Okay. So Parizo, that was the part I wasn't sure. So Pariza Wasik. Okay. So here's her book that was in the crate, The Mysterious Case of the Missing Motive. So, woohoo. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. But so, Michele, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? I know I sort of said a few things, but why don't you tell us kind of how you kind of got going down this path?
Yeah, so I taught myself to read when I was 3 years old because I wanted to write fiction so badly. So the copywriting, which is where you met me, was actually the detour. And now we're back to writing fiction. So, so I've basically been a writer my whole life. I can't really. That was always going to be the thing. And but I did get derailed. I mean, because I built a pretty successful copywriting company for years, and I was always in this, like, I'm going to write my books one day. I'm going to write my books one day. As soon as I get this project done, as soon as the summer and the next year, as soon as I get X, Y, Z, I don't know. It was always a sort of moving target in the winter. And then my 2015, my mother, well, it was before that. In 2012, I guess, my mother actually got diagnosed with cancer. 2015, she was in ICU, and she ended up dying in 2016. And when she was in ICU, that's when I was sitting there. And I still remember that day. It was a Thursday, and I was all alone with her, and it was freezing. Anyways, but I was holding her hand, and I was saying to myself, it's like, let go and let God. We all thought she was going to die, but she didn't. She lived 6 months later. Let go and let God, and I'm not going to let my books die inside me. So that was what the catalyst was. So I just told myself I was going to figure it out, and I was going to get the books out. So that's so fast forward to today with the copy, with the cozy books. My mother loved to read. My mother loved mysteries. My mother loved, and the thing is that when she was reading those cozy mysteries, they weren't really called cozies. I think you knew this. I mean, they were lighter mysteries, but we didn't actually call them cozy mysteries until I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. So she would have just adored. She didn't like my psych thrillers at all. So she would have just loved loved this whole cozy mystery craze that we're in. So it's all very exciting.
That's great. Well, okay, so let's start with this book first, okay?
Okay, so this is and there's 3 of them, so I've got mine too. So this is actually the spinoff of a spinoff. So this is the Redemption Detective Agency, and this is it takes place in the 1990s in Redemption, Wisconsin. All my books take place in Redemption, Wisconsin, and or Riverview, Wisconsin. And Redemption, Wisconsin is actually based on, it's funny because I like to jokingly say I'm now living in Redemption, Wisconsin. It's based on Reedsburg, which is where I actually am living right now, although you can't see much in the back. We're on a lake. And Reedsburg is a real town. Redemption is not a real town. It is fictionalized. And the town itself is kind of haunted. I actually based that off of Black River Falls, which is also a real town.
I have relatives from Black River Falls.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with Black River Falls, I don't know if you knew this, in 1888 through 1892 or 93, there was this 5-year period where the town went berserk. And it's like Death Road. There's actually a book about it where they did every week. There was murders, and Black River Falls was never a big town, but there was like murders and arsons and people going crazy. And for this 5-year period, it was like this madness had descended on this town. And then, so it was really strange. So part of what I was doing, so Redemption, Wisconsin is kind of it's my made-up hybrid, but basically in 1888 there's also a big blizzard in 1888. This is real too. The children's blizzard, and also New York had a I can't remember, but they had a name for this blizzard in New York. So it was this horrible blizzard in New York, and it hit Nebraska and Minnesota more, but it was into Wisconsin as well. So in 1888. In Redemption, Wisconsin, all the adults disappeared that winter, leaving only the children, and nobody knows what happened to them. So ever since then, this town's kind of got this haunted place on it. So I've got the psychological thrillers, which have kind of play with the darker side of Redemption, and then we've got the cozies that are the lighter side of Redemption. So the Redemption Detective Agency is very light and very funny, and also it's got a love interest in there, and it's got pet detectives, and it has it's kind of like Only Murders in the Building, in the sense it's got like a 30-year-old sleuth with senior sleuths. So it's got the senior sleuths. Emily is a fish out of water detective. So basically she is fired from her job and loses her job, her money, her fiance kicks her out of her apartment. She doesn't have a car, nothing. So she's got nowhere to go. So so she ends up moving in with her aunt in Redemption, Wisconsin. And her aunt is kind of crazy. Her name is Tildy, and she is opening up a detective agency with her other friends. So they all get together. but it's kind of more of a hobby than anything. So it was actually a lot of fun writing this, because I could put the fact that I had been a copywriter for so many companies over the years. I have a lot of business sense, so I could just do the exact opposite of what I would have said this, and create this kind of funky, not really a business in there where they're solving crimes.
That's great. That's so fun. What a fun backstory. And Black River Falls, I'm going to have to look into that. So yeah, it was kind of interesting because our relatives that were there, and now they've passed away now at this point, but they lived in a log home until, so it was they probably passed away maybe 15 years ago, but they never had running water or electricity.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nowadays, is that not crazy?
That is crazy. Yeah. See, it is a crazy town.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of interesting. So that's so fun. So I'm gonna research what the other stuff you were talking about, though.
Yeah, it's the whole book is like Death Trip, and the whole thing is just newspaper articles, and and pictures of people who had died. It's really wonky. It's really it's a trip. It's a trip.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Okay, so regarding this, tell us what's next. Can you give us like a spoiler-free kind of peek into what's going on? What you've got planned here for this series?
Yes. So I have 2 more books, and so right now, and I've got 2 more books coming out this year. So we have 2 more right now. So this is book 2, and this is book 3. So, and as you can see, they continue on this mysterious case of this is the missing dog walker, and this is the missing ghost. And then we've got the missing house, and it will be the missing grave. So where this is going, it's the mysteries are all complete in there, but the relationship arc between her and Nick and Jerome is, and also is part of it, as well as her just fitting in, finding the found family, that kind of thing. So that part of it, and just Emily is very much a perfectionist and very organized and very like everything needs to be, and Tilde is not, and so she lived her life with everything just so, and her life imploded. So now she's gotta lighten up. So that's part of it too.
Oh, that's great. Good. Okay, so then so how many do you see this series being? How many books do you see it?
It's going to be it's going to be for sure. It's going to be 6 books. I've got I'm going to and then I'm going to. So I've got some ideas after that. I could definitely keep it going, but I also have an idea of there's another storyline above it, which is the reason why Emily got fired. The company she was working for was in Riverview, which I based off of Madison, and but it's not Madison. So, and one thing that's kind of different about it is that there's this Duckworth. The Duckworth is a very rich family. They're in the politics and they're rich. There's really nothing that is completely made up. There was really nothing like that in Madison, but it was a very powerful family, and they're very corrupt, and they own the company that Emily worked for, and Emily got canned because of what she figured out. So I've got this idea to do kind of almost like a mini series or something where she really delves into that corruption, because I really this of what's going on there, and there's also some corruption in the police force. So that's why I've got 6 books. So I know I'm doing 6. So then I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to go and do this sort of side quest, and if I do, I would actually combine it with my other cozy mystery series that also takes place in the 1990s in Wisconsin, which is a Charlie Kingsley mystery series, and that's the series that this one spins off of.
Yeah, okay.
And you don't have to read Charlie Kingsley mysteries to be able to enjoy this one, but there is a spin-off, and I'm thinking about actually doing a crossover with that series, and like having a little 6-book thing. So that's that's a real spoiler. I haven't even really talked about that very much, but I'm considering doing that. So
that's pretty fun. I mean, it's fun to kind of see those characters, cross over, the different arcs and stuff. So that's really cool. Okay, good. Well, so now, what do you think as far as like, draws people to the cozies? I mean, you mentioned, that it's kind of a little bit newer. I mean, it's not totally new, but you know what I mean? It's having kind of its day right now.
Yeah.
So what do you think the reason
I
is?
think it's the whole cozy thing, because now we've got cozy fantasies and cozy sci-fi. I don't know if cozy sci-fi will be a thing. If I see cozy horror, then I'm really good. But I'm gonna have to say, but I think it's this idea of, I think it's the vibe. It's more of a vibe, and I think because it's this, like, the low stakes, the found family, because those are all really strong, and they're also, and the hobbies, I think, are part of it, but I don't know if the hobbies, like the quilting or the baking or the cooking or the bookstore, I think it's just more of the feeling that you've got, your ride or die friends who do become family. And I think now, it's just, things are changing so much, and everything is just really, the world is really shifting. And so I think having this sort of safe place with found family and good friends, I think I think that's what really does it. And then, like, having the cozy elements like coffee or tea and desserts, just the comfort, the creature comforts, I think that's what really draws us. And then they can be exciting. I mean, my mysteries are pretty twisty, but they can still be low stakes, whereas they're not, because some thrillers are, oh my gosh. I mean, I do love my thrillers. And so I will read some of my psych thrillers, but some of them, you have to actually, maybe now because I'm old, I gotta put the book down sometimes. I'm like, they're so crazy. And take a few breaths, but yeah. And so I think this idea of having, not having to get drawn into something that's quite such an adrenaline ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Well, so tell us a little bit about your main characters. So how do you develop them? Do they reflect real people in your life, or kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Charlie, so here, this is the Charlie Kings. I'll just show this one. So that's one of the first pictures. They all have teacups on them.
Right.
So Charlie Kingsley was like, she came to me, like, when I first thought of her, she was like the dead aunt in The Secrets of Redemption, because the Charlie Kingsley Mysteries is actually then a spinoff of The Secrets of Redemption, which was the first series, which is psych thriller. And she was the dead aunt. She didn't even have a name, and then she had the wrong name. And I'm not telling you any spoilers. You know that she's dead in the very first, for the first page, because that's why Becca moves to Redemption. But so Charlie is, that's the thing. She was such a memorable character in the sense that she would not let me stop writing about her. And I never had that happen. So I wrote the first 3 books of the Charlie Kingsley mystery, and I had her backstory, but so that I thought, I was trying to write something else, and I couldn't write it. I never did. I wrote 50,000 words of something that is just a complete mess, and it's not even really fixable. And then I finally went back to, and I wrote Charlie's prequel, which is books 4 and 5 of that series. And it was like, and I thought it was going to be 1 book, and it ended up being 2 books, and it just flowed. So I went from like having a 50,000 word mess to writing like 2 books, and they just flowed out of me. So then I thought I was done. I thought I was done. And then another author came to me and asked me about being a part of an anthology. And then I came up with the idea and suddenly it's like, I came up with Charlie being a cozy mystery. She was going to solve mysteries. And again, I kind of thought it was going to be I didn't realize I was writing a cozy mystery until I was in the middle of this. And in fact, I even told her, I said, I think I'm writing a cozy mystery. And she says, are there cats? Is there tea? Is there is it a small town? Do you have quirky, characters? I'm like, I have all of that. So Charlie she was just like, we're doing this. And then we just did. So she was probably the one that really, of all my characters, she did that. My other characters are more, I think they come to me too, but not quite as strongly. Like Emily, when I was thinking of The Secrets of the Redemption Detective Agency, I was struggling because I didn't know who would write it for a while. Because I had Tilde and Mildred. They both came from Charlie Kingsley, so I knew them. But I didn't know. But Emily, I couldn't figure it out. Then I thought, what if I had Emily? What if I had a character like Tilde's niece show up? And then it was like, the book just, it just like, it was just like, it just came together. It was just really fast. And then I realized immediately, she just, came and introduced herself and all of that. But I'm guessing, yes, they do reflect people I know. I'm just not conscious of it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Are you in any of your characters?
Well, probably. I mean, I don't think, I don't, yeah, I mean, I don't consciously do it, but
Okay.
I'm guessing it's there.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your writing ritual. How do you get the work done?
So it's I'm very much a pantser, not a plotter. If you've heard that. So I do write very rough outlines, but then I get into, I have to feel my way through a story. That's what I like to say. So I have to kind of start it and write it and kind of feel my way through it in order to kind of get it. I can't write those really detailed. I wish I could. I can't write those really detailed outlines. I think I could. I think things would move faster if I could, but I can't.
So then, how do you make time for writing? Do you have like a schedule that you follow, or tell me about that?
So I try to write I don't have as good of a schedule as I should, but I try to write in the morning because it seems to be better that way. But if I don't actually get it done in the morning, I have a lot of trouble starting for some reason. So once I'm going, I'm fine, but it's like getting started is like the problem. So on the days where I don't get started till the afternoon, I still make myself get my word count for the day done, but I'm trying to get myself better because because I'm better in the morning. So if I can start in the morning, but I just have to like get started, even if you just write, not, like I don't know what to write. I don't have to, that doesn't really work for me, but I just got to start writing something. And then I've tried that. I don't know what to write, but that never really, that is a good tip. And if you're a writer listening to this, try that, just like if you don't know what to write, just start typing, I don't know what to write. And then sometimes you'll meld into something else, but I have to actually start with something, even if it's not very good. So at least part of the story.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, we've got a couple people that have said hello here. So Wanda and Chelsea are here. Hello from Pennsylvania. And Chelsea, I'm trying to remember where you are. I know I sent you something, but I can't remember what state you're in. So if anybody has any questions, you can just type them in the chat and then I'll come back to them for Michele, but we really appreciate you guys being here. Okay, so then tell us something that's some kind of interesting tidbit about you that maybe hasn't been out on the internet or in your bio in the book.
I don't know.
You live on a lake, so what drew you to that?
To what? I'm sorry. What
living on a lake. Do you like to fish or swim or jet ski or anything like that?
So this is actually we actually came back here because the reason why I started this is my parents bought this as like a summer. It's kind of a vacation home. So when they were living in Madison, so that's how. So we were coming out here since 2008. So I think that's why when I started writing about redemption, because I started nipping out the lie in 2015 after that what I said. So I think I just started picturing redemption or Reedsburg when I was writing it. So but yeah, so we moved here. We were living in Arizona I grew up in Madison. We were living in Arizona for almost 30 years, and we came back here. And part of the reason why I came back here is like my dad's still here. My husband's parents are still here. We both have, his sisters are here. So, it just made things, it was really hard living in Arizona when my mom was sick. So I didn't want to go through that again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what do you do there in Wisconsin? What are you into? Do you spend time like hiking? And I mean, it's so beautiful where you are. Do you spend time outdoors? Is that a big thing for you? Or?
Yeah. So, I mean, not so much in the winter, but yeah. So especially with the Arctic freeze we just had.
Isn't it?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we do. We have this great walk, like a 45-minute walk that we do around the lake. So that's lovely. And then we're very, very close to, that's what's great here is having all these, like Devil's Lake, which is pretty famous. That's about 40 minutes away from here, 30 minutes away from here. no, it's not 40 minutes. It's more like 20 or 30 minutes. So that's not far away. And then there's there's also another state park that's like 5 minutes away. That's, they're 10 minutes away. It's really great to go do this. Like, it's a great little like 4-mile hike around in the woods. So yeah, there's a lot of really beautiful places there. And this is a lot of yard. So we were going to do some more gardening and things like that this coming summer. So
that'll be good. That'll give you some kind of hobbies for your characters.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Charlie actually does garden. So she actually grows her herbs and flowers in her garden that she makes her tea out of. So she makes the tea out of her house.
That's great. All right. So if somebody's new to your books, where do you recommend that they start?
So it depends on if there's somebody who wants to start at the very beginning, then they really should start with Ipecac, and they don't mind reading psych thrillers. They should start with Ipecac with the Lie, because that's kind of like where the whole thing starts. And then if they like cozy mysteries, then they should start with either the Charlie Kingsley mysteries or the Redemption Detective Agency. And the Charlie Kingsley mysteries, those mysteries are much twistier. So, and I would say, like in the cozy mystery, the emphasis on the mystery. The Redemption Detective Agency, I would say that the emphasis, it's got a lot more emphasis on the cozy. Not that it doesn't have a twisty mystery, but there's a lot of emphasis on the cozy. So if you are somebody who likes equal amounts of cozy with your mystery and a lot more humor, then you're going to like the Redemption Detective Agency. And if you like twisty Agatha Christie type mysteries, Charlie Kingsley mysteries is probably good.
Okay. That sounds good. So give us a sneak peek about what's coming next.
So Arson, Old Lace, and Murder, which is book 8 in the Charlie Kingsley mystery. And it's been like a year and a half because I kind of took some time to start the Redemption Detective Agency. That's coming out in March. Oh. And then we've got books 4 and 5, the Mysterious Case of the Missing House, which I'm about to start. I've been mulling about it. I'm doing my mulling, and then I'm going to get started on that. That'll be coming out this summer. So, and then the Mysterious Case of the Missing Grave will be out. That will actually be a Halloween book. So then because I love writing Halloween cozy mysteries and Christmas cozy mysteries too, but Halloween is a lot of fun.
Good for you. That sounds great. We'll have to get another one in one of the upcoming crates. That'll be fun. So, I know I wanted to ask you about your mystery game that you sent me. So tell me about that a little bit, like where the idea came for that. So why don't you tell everybody about it a little bit? Because I mean, I'm familiar with it, but
So one of the things with the Redemption Detective Agency is that I wanted to bring. So it's a group solving the case. Like Emily is the most poor, but we've got Tildy and Mildred and Nora and Nick. Nick's an attorney. So it's more of a group effort. So then I thought, well, other people could join in, and also, so the mystery games are actually cases from the Redemption Detective Agency. So you would actually get a case sent out to you that you could solve, and then you could find the answer online. So that's where that came from. It's this idea so that you too could become a detective with the because Tildy, everyone can be a detective.
Right. Yeah, I know you sent me one, and I have it sitting on I'm waiting. I want to do it with my daughters, and so it just hasn't been a great time. But I did open it and looked at it, and so it's really cool. It comes in this envelope, and it has all these pieces of the puzzle that you have to kind of figure out, which I think is going to be super fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. So how would people find that if they were interested in checking it out?
So it's at my mpwnovels.com, which is my website. And then that's also got the store in there as well, my shop. So that's got the games and then also other books and things.
Okay, good. All right. So let's see here. Let's see what else. So if people were going to support you, if people wanted to, stay in touch with you, what would be the best way for them to connect?
So I'm Facebook and Instagram are good. You can find me at, let's see, Facebook. It's like Michele. Well, you know what? If you go to mpwnovels.com and then you go to the about page or the contact page, so all my social media stuff are there. But like Instagram is the Michele PW, and I think it's at Michele PW Author is Facebook, but it's probably easier. And then I also have my email list, so you can get on my email list. And I have
Yeah.
also have a MPW VI book club. Now my book club is not like yours. Basically what it is if you wanted like bonus scenes or short stories, things like that, you can join and they're free. So so it's just you just make an account on my website, and then you can get all this bonus content.
And that's how they can get on your email list too, if
Yes.
they're interested, is on the website. Okay, so everything is at
Yeah.
mpwnovels.com.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way. So you can get me on
MPW
social
novels.
media, and you can get on my mailing list, all of that.
Okay, good. That sounds great. Okay, well, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I just really wanted to give people kind of a brief introduction to you, let them see you and hear you, and and be able to figure out how to connect with you. So yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really fun to see you and to be able to connect, in person. We've talked on the phone and emailed and stuff, but it was nice to actually get to sort of meet you here. So that was fun. And so I appreciate that. And everybody, don't forget about our Grounds for Suspicion crate. So that one is going to be coming out end of Feb, beginning of March. And let's see here. And don't forget about checking out Michelle's website so that you can go ahead and, get those free bonus chapters, get on your email list. And so that'd be great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. I know I love I got one of your boxes, and they're great. So I really loved it. It's everything, you can tell that you pick it all out with love.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's like sending a gift to one of my sisters is how it feels, so it's really nice. Well, Michele, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, everybody who is on with us tonight. And we'll be back on in a couple weeks with another interview. But I'll keep you posted. And Michele, hopefully we can feature another one of your books coming up.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.